Hey there, I got another new vlogging cam. This is a video about me buying a new vlogging cam in the year 2017 in September. I recently had the Canon M6, but that didn't work out for me. Before that, I had the Canon G7X and I went back again after the M6 to the G7X. That camera didn't really do it for me because the M6's picture quality was so good that I kind of was missing that, so I quickly decided on something else and I got myself another Sony cam, the Sony A7S. Now, this is not a new cam, this is actually a few years old. The G7X Mark II is younger than this. And why did I buy this? Well, first of all, it's a Sony and I'm kind of becoming a Sony guy. I was considering Fujifilm, and apparently I'm just gonna buy every Sony camera that I can get my hands on before I go to the legendary Sony RX100 Mark V, even though it is so expensive. I got the Sony A7S. Why did I get this? Well, it is a Sony with a flip up screen. It doesn't have 4K, but it has Ultra HD and it does 30 frames per second, 24 frames per second and 60 frames per second, which is more than plenty for me because I have other cameras to do the more slow-mo and also I have other cameras to do the more filmic stuff that I'm doing. This comes with this kit lens. This kit lens is a power zoom lens. It is 16 to 53.5. Even though this camera actually has a pretty high ISO, the 3.5 is a very high aperture and won't be good in low light. And as I say in all my other videos, I need something that's good in low light. Some of you might be asking, why did I buy this then? I bought another lens for it. I bought the Sigma 19mm 2.8. Now this is also not the best low light lens, but it is a Sigma odd lens and I just couldn't help myself, it's just too good. If you want the specs on this, a mirrorless, it has the same sensor as the Sony A6000. It takes E-mount lenses. All of my other very expensive lenses I can put on here if I want to. It's actually a very good photography camera. It has picture effects, but it doesn't have the picture profiles that the other cameras does. But I can kind of get myself to a very flat image if I want that. I'm just gonna desaturate and decontrast. Now, another thing is that it doesn't have the possibility of an external mic, which is one of the reasons why I bought it, because that external mic actually brings me more grief than anything else. Because when I'm just out vlogging, I don't really want to put that thing on and off every time. So this one I can just hang over my shoulder and I can flip the screen up, I can frame myself and I can start recording. One thing though, the mics are there and there, which is directly above the lens mount, and that probably means there will be some mechanical noise here. I've been using it for a few weeks and I'm quite happy with it so far. I haven't really been doing a lot of vlogs, but I'm kind of just training with it while I've been doing other stuff. Without any further ado, let's just go directly into the video.
So focus on me, focus. I have come out and I'm gonna bring this camera along with me while going on the last motorcycle ride of the season. Now I'm not gonna do a whole lot of filming while I'm driving because I don't have the gear for that, for this camera anyway, but I am gonna take you along and try to get it into different environments. Now, what I'm using right now is the kit lens. The first thing that's quite annoying about this being 2017 and this being a camera from 2013, is that it takes quite a while to start up and also it takes quite a while to shut down. Now, it isn't that much different from my G7X, but it is still kind of annoying because I've become quite used to it being not that slow. As I said, this is the kit lens. Let me switch to the other lens. Now this is a Sigma lens. It is a 19mm, so it is a little more cropped in than the other one, which is a 16 to 50mm. This one does not have a power zoom, the other one does, but I can't really use that for anything while I'm vlogging anyway, and it looks terrible, so that's the thing I don't care about. Now, the picture on this should be a little better. I'm not sure if it is. Let's go for a drive. And the first stop on the motorcycle tour. Now, there's another thing about this camera, and that is it takes quite a long time to focus whenever I put it up like this. It does this both on the Sigma and also on the kit lens, and that is also a little annoying. It is not a big thing though, it's a first world problem and it's it's probably like that with all the rest, but I have for the last month been vlogging with my 6500, and that does do that. But okay, the 6500 has probably one of the best Sony autofocus systems there is right now. Also, another thing about this is the sound. I've been kind of listening to the sound, and whenever you play it on speakers from a computer, it's okay. But if you play it with the headphones on, it's really crisp. Like, ow, my ears crisp. Also, one of the other things about this is that it doesn't have an external mic input, which means that I'm totally dependent on the in-house mics now. That is fine, but as soon as it is a little windy, you start getting wind noise, and I hate the wind noise. Like, I get angry whenever I had the wind noise. Also, one of the other... Now, you can't fix that sort of with a dead cat thing, and I did order some dead cat stuff to put on here, but it hasn't arrived yet. Now, this does not have picture profiles like the other ones. It just have picture effects, and also it has some presets that you can, like black and white and sepia. That's actually pretty good for photography, but as for filming, it is kind of standard. I kind of like matching the color profiles. So what I've done here is that I'm using one of the standards, and then I've just decreased the saturation and decreased the contrast, so I get kind of a more of a flat picture. So whenever I'm doing color grading, it kind of looks the same. Not totally, but kind of, which is fine. It's now I switched back to the kit lens, which is the one that can zoom. Let's see how that looks. That is actually on this screen not that bad. It's my beard. And also, if I zoom out again, it is quite a fluid transition. Not something that I need. I don't really use zoom for filming. I usually mostly prime lenses. For me, that's not really a big thing, but it might be for someone. Now, the cool thing about this Sigma 19mm lens, which actually does take quite a lot shorter to start up, is that the picture, even though it is pretty bright right now, the picture is very good. In the dark though, what I found out, and as you'll see, is that I thought that it would be better. Now, in the dark, it's terrible. Plain and simple, I'll show you. I am now on my way out in the world. I am kind of doing a dark test on this camera to see how that works. The shutter speed is very low right now, just to make it look somewhat presentable. But it is still okay as far as I can see up on the screen in 2 seconds. I have come down to my working place, which is called High Voltage. I was also here last night and tried to take some pictures, but it didn't turn out well. So I'm gonna redo it today. And it is a pretty dark place. I will say that normally there's a lot of candles lit down here, which kind of amps up the light volume a little. I'm not really gonna turn on 100 candle lights for just this. So yeah, not really that good. I guess that the only camera that I like, which is a mirrorless that's really good in the dark, is the Sony A7S. But I still think that that thing is a bit much for vlogging. But other people are doing it, so maybe I have to do well. The A6500 is okay. It's okay. It's not as good as the A7S, but it's okay. So fortunately I have both, so I can just test it out if I wanna. Let's go back on the motorcycle. I'm back home again, and in the end I'm sitting in my room where it is actually quite dark, but I'm sitting just in front of a window, so that brightens up my face just to give you a thing about how it will look in the dusk. Now this is me pointing away from the window, and this is me pointing back at the window again, so you can kind of see the difference. So this is just like a shut-in scene, but I kind of want to make a point, and it is, have a listen. Hear that? This is a kit lens, listen. That is mechanical noise from the lens, and that is kind of a bummer, because this is a Sigma lens and it makes mechanical noise, and I know the mic is right on top of the mount, but it kind of sucks. You can masquerade it with music, but it still sucks. Was this the right thing for me to buy? No, probably not. I actually thought it would be better in the dark, but it is good enough for now. I am gonna wait until I have the money for the RX 100 Mark V or the Mark 6, maybe at that point, but for now it's fine because I have the 6500, so I'm gonna stick with this for a while. So there was some noise here. It's actually a little bad, and I didn't expect that, but
well, when in Rome. What I really like about this is that it works so good with this lens. The picture is crystal clear and it's so good. It's not as good in low light as I hoped it would be, but it is definitely better than the M6. And if I get another lens that goes even further down than 2.8, it will probably be better. Is this my final choice? Probably not. I am probably gonna go with the RX 100 Mark V at some point, but right now I'm just kind of building up the nerve to go buy it. But for now, this is actually good. Also, I can mix this with the Sony A6500 that I have as well, and then actually get a pretty good result. The 6500 does 120 frames per second and stuff like that. If you want specs on this, you can go find a lot of other different things, but smash the like button, subscribe if you like, and then have a very, very, very nice week.
Nobody